this is your first time watching, I want to say to you, welcome. If you're tuning in because you're following along with the epic saga, that makes you a repeat offender, and I want to say welcome back. I come here today, heavy heart in hand, very saddened by this entire situation. Boy, do I have a story to tell you all. Christmas Day. We open all of our family gifts. We sit down like the rest of the country and tune into our, HBO Max, and we watch the new Wonder Woman movie, which was awesome. And the family decides that they're gonna sit there and continue watching movies, and I thought, man, I'm gonna go play with some of my new toys Mama just bought me, right? So I come out here in the shop and I pick my phone up, and I've got a notification from PayPal that I need to go to the Conflict Resolution Center. And I'm like, great, what's this all about? So I log into my PayPal account and I go to the Conflict Resolution Center. And the Conflict Resolution Center, those of you that don't know, is where PayPal takes you if somebody files a dispute or a claim against you, or you have a dispute against somebody else and you file a claim against somebody else. And basically it's just the fact-finding bit of the information. It's, opportunity as seller to present your information, or if you're the buyer, present your information, and then the arbitrators, the decision makers, are PayPal or the disputable credit card company. So I start looking, and I look at the transaction, and it was back on the 9th of this month, and I went, oh, I know what that is. That's Masterclass Build 009. And I went, wow, that guy really wanted that thing. So let's pause the story right here, and we're gonna go and we're gonna put ourselves in the rewind machine. So I come back on the 8th of this month and I put out a masterclass build. I tried to do a couple this month, that way people could have an opportunity to buy themselves some cool kick-ass Christmas gifts, right? And I thought this will be fun. I did a 4-pill, and then I put it up for, through BBI Amps, the group on Facebook. I put it open for everybody to vote, and everybody unanimously, just totally overwhelmingly unanimously voted, landslide voted for. And I showed the total tally with true transparency, unlike all the other things we got going on in this country right now with a vote, and I put it up for everybody to see it. And hands down, 2-6 won, by far. Didn't have to go to the Supreme Court justices or see 15 flipping judges. This is what it was. And they wanted it with HGs. So I built that amplifier. And immediately upon releasing the video, I get a phone call from this guy. We're gonna call him Mr. J. Now, the reason we're not saying any names is because always I'm not here to humiliate, demean, or make anybody feel bad. That's not the way I work here. It is not, and I never want to ever come across like that. So, in total indifference to privacy and trying to, not indifference, but sensitivity to privacy and people's feelings and emotions, we're gonna leave out names, we're gonna leave out certain details. Okay. He literally sent me pictures of his card, which was very weird to me. But I said, okay, whatever. And I went ahead and tried to process that card. And it was declined, and it led to a couple days where he wasn't able to get the card, blah, 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 working or whatever. So then he gave me another card number, and I went ahead and ran it, and I went through it, and I didn't think anything about it. And he says to me, he goes, I want you to hold on to that thing till next year because I don't want it to get smashed. I watched your latest YouTube video about not wanting to ship things during the end of year here during the month of December because things get just destroyed. And they do. Here, I'll give you a good example. We shipped off that SB220, the new build, the first one ever on video. If you guys haven't ever seen that, you might want to go back and look in those videos. At Epic, like 5 or 6 part series where I took an only SB220 that we could ever find that was brand new, literally in good brand new mint condition out of the box, and fully assembled it. It went to a new home. We shipped that all the way in November. It didn't get delivered till, I think, Friday of last week? Monday last week, or Monday of this week? It had been bouncing around in the delivery system this entire time. So when he says that to me, I'm like, okay, no problem. Yeah, no problem. And then he wanted me to modify it. He wanted me to add sideband to it, and he wanted me to do all this other stuff to it. I said, okay, well, how about you just pay me for the amp? And then when we get around to getting ready to ship it, about the 15th of next month, which will be 2021, January 15th, I'll touch back in with you. And if you want to add sideband to it and you want to do all this other stuff, we can do it, or you can just ship it. Now, he was a little, he'd had a couple adult beverages when I talked to him on the phone. And I understood that. That's why I kind of, let's lay this process out and let's step away from this, and I'll catch you later on down the road when we're not celebrating whatever we're celebrating or doing whatever we're doing as adults, because it's perfectly appropriate if you handle your business. I didn't think anything about it. Wrapped it up in plastic, took it up over into the shipping department, into the house to my wife, told her what was going on, put a Post-it note on it, and moved on. Well, I reached out on Christmas Day to find out what's going on, because I am the kind of guy that I'd rather you call me and talk to me, and believe me, this means nothing to me. I would rather just say, hey, here's your money back if you're having a hard time in your life, and I will go find somebody else that's interested in buying whatever it is that you... He answers the phone. He proceeds to tell me he doesn't know what's going on, that he had nothing to do with it and he has not filed a claim. But there I'm sitting there looking at the information in front of me, and I'm like, well, somebody that has authority with this card has done it. And so I get off the phone with him, and he shoots me a couple texts. Man, I just got let go from my job. And then he proceeds to explain why he's not going to get unemployment. I'm not going to get into that. That's his personal business. Not interested in making anybody look bad here. And I immediately, when I heard that, I went, oh, I understand what's going on. And I think all of you understand what's going on as well. It's Christmas. It's the end of year. It's a struggle. You guys got to remember, there was a time in my life where I spent 2 weeks and I lived in a cardboard box because I had next to nothing. I understand what it means to be completely broke. I've been there several times for lots of different reasons. I understand. I'm sympathetic to that. I have emotions for that. I get that. He said that he needed to contact his wife and they'd work it out and whatnot. It was really interesting in his text history to see that he would ping pong between send it, keep it, send it, modify it, don't modify it. And when I contacted him on Christmas, he didn't even know what I was talking about. He's like, what are you, I didn't. I'm like, yeah, you did. And here's the text history to prove it. And here's the pictures of the card. And usually when somebody shows to me that they're not like in 100% state of their mind, I just reach over on my phone and I go click record. My phone came with an app that allows me to just push a button and it records Bluetooth, whatever. Just hit record. And it was just getting a little wishy-washy. So I recorded all of my conversations from the word go with him, and I'm glad I did. He didn't even remember buying the amplifier, even though the purchase was spread out over like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, it is what it is. So needless to say, I went and answered the conflict resolution in PayPal, submitted all my evidence. PayPal found for me, they submitted all the information up to the credit card company, and I said, well, I don't want the money. And they said, really? I said, yeah, I'm not really interested in that. I understand this guy's just lost his job, doesn't qualify for unemployment. He might have made this purchase in error. I don't know. What I'd rather do is just make sure everybody's whole. I've been there. I know what it's like. It's a scary place, especially at the end of the year. It's hard. I talked with a gal by the name of Sandra. Then I talked with a wonderful gal by the name of Ruth. And then I talked to a neat guy named Nicholas. Actually had fun talking with PayPal on the phone. That was a lot of fun. They all reviewed the evidence and it came down on my side and I was able to get the money back. And I said, what I want you to do is I want you to immediately issue a refund. And they did just that. And this is a hard time of year. I was able to help make him whole. I was able to eliminate all the BS that was involved. I mean, the pictures of the card and all this stuff is what really just is a slam dunk. So it is what it is. I went, well, this is better. This is actually better. And the way we have to look at it, the way you all need to look at it, is this is better for a lot of different reasons. Because now this can go to somebody that actually wants it. That information is no longer valid, so I throw that away. Gentlemen, masterclass build 00 number 9. 2x6, 22290 Toshibas driving 6 2879 16D08 HGs. It's a 15 to 1900 watt, very low drive amplifier. You're going to hit this with like a Cobra 29, Cobra 25, 35, maybe 40 watt peak max radio. Max, no more drive than that. You'll burn it up. Variable drive, big Sunon fan in it, and it is built right. If you have any questions, I will put a link in the description below, and if you watch the end of the video, I'll put a link somewhere, probably in here or over here or down here or somewhere, that will allow you to just click on it and go to it if you're watching this on some kind of viewable console like PlayStation or your computer. Same price as before, $1,000 plus the ride. And I really don't want to ship this until probably the minimum of the 10th of this next month, which is just like a week from now. Still December. I was at the United States Postal Service just the other day, and I was having to do some work for them in the background, and I seen some stuff going on there. They are so busy, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's like controlled chaos. The thing that I heard from our Postmaster General here is they have dealt with almost 4 times more packages this holiday season than they have ever dealt with in history at this time of year. Gotta love it. The word that starts with C and ends with 19. Amazon, UPS, FedEx, Postal Service, I'm sure DHL in certain parts of the country, we don't have that here, are on overload, and I feel sorry for those guys working there. But at the end of the day, I wish instead of, let me say this. I remember back when I was having to manage people. I was having to manage a team of people, especially grown men. Thank God I'm not in that position anymore. I just work and support me. I always thought it was weird Monday morning, after I knew everybody at the company had been at a party at this dude's house, the guy's wife, girlfriend, cousin, sister, or mom would call them in sick for work. The 24-hour flu. And it always made me look at people slightly different like that. You're like, wait a minute. Why couldn't you call yourself? I mean, I understand being hungover. I get that. I understand having a hard time because you partied too hard all weekend. I get that. I'm an adult. I've done it. I was just the kind of guy that sweated it out and went to work anyhow, and then decided not to do that anymore. But when you got your mom, your sister, your cousin, your niece, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, calling you in sick for the work the next day, it just, I don't know. It just takes from somebody, I think. It really does. And there might have been a little of that BS going on here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I want to move on. And I feel that this is going to get to go to somebody that's actually going to really want it. And they're going to put it to good use, and they're going to have a lot of fun with it. Guys, I thank every single one of you. I appreciate you all for tuning in to check this out. And this amp is up for sale, and it's ready to go right now.